Hi lovelies, and welcome to the Witch's Cookery and a happy midsummer to you. Today I would like to celebrate Litha with you, take you through my day with a wonderful sunrise morning walk, do a little fitting magical tarot spread to tap into your solar energy, witch of the most delightful seasonal kitchen witchery, do a bit of decorative cottage witchcraft and have the best time. So what do you say? Wanna come along? Okay, toot sweet, the sun is rising!
My favorite part in the months of June and July are the mornings. My body seems so filled with excited energy and I naturally start to wake up with the sun. Getting up before the rest of the world has awoken, I consider one of the most beautiful gifts to myself. Walking through fields and forests filled with the happy chatter of the birds, seeing deer grazing in the distance and witnessing the breathtaking colors of the morning sky while it slowly starts to illuminate makes my heart feel like the world belongs to me. Like opportunities are endless, dreams are tangible, and like this beauty was created for my eyes specifically. Litha celebrates the summer solstice or midsummer, the time when days are long and nights are short, when life happens outdoors, when golden sun rays lift your heart and bronze your skin. While it would be wonderful to be able to use the longest day of the year from dusk to dawn for all things summer magic, most of us won't have the time or freedom to do this. But if your schedule allows it, why not try and dedicate the sunrise and sunset on this special day to magical practice? A quiet walk watching the sun rise on a purple sky, inhaling the fresh morning air is, and I promise you that, one of the most energizing and peaceful things you can do for yourself. Bask in the glory of a morning painted just for you. Fill up on that solar energy to tackle your day with strength and vigor. And when the sun finally slips into a starry night, witness the peace that embracing the darkness can give your mind and soul. For the holidays, I like to come up with oracle or tarot spreads to reflect on the natural life topics they bring up and read the energies of the season. Meaning those energies associated with the symbolism of what is happening in nature, in the sky and in our modern life schedules in relation to the holiday in question. You might know this oracle card deck, which is from a line called Season of the Witch, and they are available for almost all holidays on the wheel of year. I really enjoy the illustrations and I worked with depictions of seasonal items and mundane seasonal activities. In this year's Litha celebration, I wanted to focus mainly on the aspects of midsummer being related to the sun at its top of solar power. This for me means strength, power, illumination, life and vigor. So the questions I came up with for my oracle spread reflect those too. You can copy this oracle or tarot spread for yourself to do with your own cards, or if you like, you may use my reading as an inspiration for your own life and reflections. The first card is to give you insight into a chance to recharge and enjoy. I drew fruit wine, calling me to engage in community, meet up with friends and be outgoing. Something that gives me lots of lighthearted fun and enjoyment in the summer as is, and I'm definitely planning some barbecues, hiking trips and witchy moon and fire gathering with friends. The bright summer sun is a symbol of power, vitality and strength for nearly all cultures. So as to reflect on that, where I can find my own strength, I ask where to step into my power, and I drew garden beds, which was about working smarter, not harder, making things work smoother in the future and rethinking one's way of handling processes. This was really a card that got me thinking. With all my projects, I constantly feel like I'm walking uphill and wear way too many hats. So it's probably time to make my workflow a bit easier and figure out ways so I don't feel completely burnt out almost all the time. Next, I asked what abundance awaits in the coming time as we are approaching the abundant harvest festival of Lammas, Mabon and Samhain. The card I drew was sunbathing, symbolizing spirituality and restoration, I took this meaning on a physical as well as a transcendental level. Not only am I very focused on my personal spirituality at the moment, having good routines in place that make me experience the magic daily, but I'm also currently very busy with restoring a place in my town to open a witchy sanctuary and magical counseling office, a place to offer others retreat and restoration through their spirituality. While Litha is a big sun holiday, celebrated on the shortest night and longest day, it also marks the time when we go back into the darkness. I asked what bit of summer magic or energy can I take with me going forward? What light can I gather now to let shine in the darkness of winter? The drawn card suggested change, strength, courage, and creating something new. Many chances await me during the next few months that will require courage, strength, and leaving the old behind as I'm engaging in this new business adventure that is so very close to my heart. And this reading went hand in hand with the last card I drew. My question was, what needed my attention most during the summer? And the answer was simple. Take all opportunities that arise and keep the focus on what you want. Manifest what you're dreaming about. Moving forward with open eyes and a brave heart to create your reality. From on May, I basically live on my balcony. I've made it into my little oasis, the space where I witness an early sunrise and quiet reflection while I journal and enjoy a nice coffee in peace, the space where I let my mind wander and dream while midday clouds slowly drift over a blue sky, accompanied by the gentle tinkling sound of wind chimes, and where I end my day, a heart full of gratitude while watching an orange sun slip behind the purple-tinged shadows of the trees. We have planted a little balcony garden, filled with herbs, tomatoes and berries, safe from the slugs and conveniently close to the kitchen. I have grown just a few selected herbs that I need for my favorite form of magic, kitchen witchery. One of my faves is a lemon balm, a pleasant tasting plant that feels both uplifting and calming. It makes a wonderful addition in evening teas, gives some depth to enchanted cocktails, and can be baked into sweet treats to combat anxious feelings. Basil is another favorite. Magically often used in abundance spells, it makes for a wonderful garnish for burrata and tomato dishes or worked into pesto to spread on a toasted baguette. Makes you dream of lush evenings on the Italian coast. Mint I use to refresh the mind and call in energy, while chives I use more for mundane cooking than for magical one. But nothing better than a simple sourdough bread thickly spread with salted butter, topped with chives. And the pride of my balcony garden are my lavender and rosemary bushes, said to be magical protectors of any dwelling. Let's put this abundance to good use and witch up a refreshing cocktail. Well, mocktail, because it's still daytime and on a warm day hydration is important. I call this concoction my midsummer night's dream. The base of it is gin. I am using an alcohol-free one here that I infuse with lemon balm and lavender, bringing in that gentle, calming energy that makes this an ideal bevy to sip on after a long day to wind down in peace. Let the herbs sit in the gin for around 10 minutes to incorporate a subtle flavor before straining them out. You can set them to the side so you can use them afterwards as garnish. To balance out the herby flavors and give it a bit of tang, you want to choose half a grapefruit. This will not only elevate the taste, but also gives your Midsummer Night's Dream a gorgeous pinkish color similar to the one you can spot in the sky when the sun sets after a long summer's day. Every mocktail needs ice to chill it, and even better if you have some fancy ice cubes that bring it from a simple drink to a magical experience. I have frozen some lavender, but can also recommend using other edible flowers like carnations, daisies, chamomile, pansies, borage or marigolds to add visual interest. Little ex-bartender tip here: if you use distilled water to make your ice cubes, they will freeze mainly clear and you don't get that whitish tinge when they're frozen. And now all there's left to do is to pick a glass that you enjoy. I find this a very important step of the process when working kitchen witchery, to not only have the meal or drink be made mindfully and with intention, but to also add ritualistic importance by choosing a fitting vessel for added enjoyment while you consume it. Pour the infused gin over the ice cubes, add the lovely pink grapefruit juice, take a little bit of honey if you like to lend it a bit of sweetness, and then fill it up with just a swig of tonic water. Let's not forget the garnish, which is the lavender and lemon balm leaf from before, and then we can already take this out on the balcony for a peaceful, tranquil break. If you would like to know more about recipes for magical summer mocktails or in general seasonal ideas on how to celebrate the time around the solstice, I want to remind you that on my website you can find an entire Litha email course that guides you through 2 magical weeks full of history, traditions, kitchen witchery, plant lore and rituals for midsummer. You will receive daily email prompts that are sure to infuse your mundane with some simple magic and let you discover a new enjoyment for the season. I'll leave you the link in the description box below. Well, now that we are out here on my balcony again, I feel that it could need a bit more whimsy and magic. And that is why I decided to weave a summer solstice spell that also serves as a witchy home decor. I just adore the gentle sound of wind chimes when a summer breeze wafts through the air. The silver tinkling that reminds me of little fairies dancing with the wind. There's just something enchanting about it, and even when I cannot sit on my balcony, I enjoy listening to soundscapes on YouTube that incorporate them. By the way, if you like witchy themed ambient sounds to listen to while working, reading or being creative, I recommend the channel The Dead of Night. Wonderful stuff, and he also creates specific videos for the holidays on the Wheel of Year, perfectly capturing the seasonal vibe. Now, what you see me weave here is kind of a mishmash of a wind chime, sun catcher and dream catcher all in one. And as someone who is not at all handy in doing any sorts of arts and crafts, I was very surprised how easy it actually is to weave a dream catcher. All you need is a bit of wool, a base like a metal ring or even one cut from cardboard, and some patience. Oh, and of course a great tutorial that explains how to go about things. And since I'm not the best in explaining this when it comes to handicrafts, I linked you 2 excellent tutorials down below. One shows you how to weave a moon and the other one discusses different shapes and techniques. I find this craft project to be a very fitting choice for Litha, firstly because it makes a cute outdoor decor for garden or balcony. Then it really conjures up the summer vibes with a gentle sound, especially if you incorporate materials and ornamentations such as bells, bigger beads, metal pieces and so on. And lastly, if you can find some glass beads, crystals, pilettes or little pieces of mirror in your arts and crafts stores, you can observe the wonderful shapes and lights cast on the walls when the solstice sun reflects in it. As I already have a number of wind chimes on my balcony, I decided to spare my neighbors more auditory delights and simply use small shiny beads in the colors of Litha. I had originally planned to make 3 different shapes. A sun to honor the summer energy, a rose to honor the abundant growth and beauty this time of year, and a moon as a homage to the cozy summer nights at a fire with good company and good laughs. I ran out of time though, so I just made a moon and a rose. This project is very slow and meditative, and while you let your fingers weave, you can contemplate on what you would like to call in and, so to speak, capture in its magical net. In my rose catcher, I weaved a desire for beauty and creativity and gentle nourishing energies. And in the moon one, I weaved a wish for community and spiritual connectedness. These type of object meditations, where you keep your hands busy while you contemplate on a topic, can be especially helpful to people that have a wandering mind and have usually difficulties to meditate or visualize for a prolonged time. Activities like knitting, painting or gardening might work similarly well and can all also be infused with intention and magic. Something that really helps me bring more magic into my mundane is to plan magical or seasonal activities and then to also hold myself accountable so I actually do them. And here I'm not necessarily using a calendar, but more of a fun bucket list that I can cross off to see what is still left to do. My kids absolutely love to help me with them and want to incorporate all their ideas of seasonal fun too. Sometimes we just write it as a list and other times we make a little arts and craft project out of it, and you might have seen this in the autumn vlog that I'm linking you here. where we made a chain of autumn leaves, each carrying one fun or cultural, historical or magical thing to do during this certain period of time. And we usually do 4 bucket lists a year, 1 for each season. Around Litha is the time where I do mine for the summer. If you're someone who enjoys incorporating new, fun family traditions, this way of going about it is also very helpful. One thing that always makes it to the top of the summer bucket list is, of course, strawberry picking. I already loved this as a kid, as strawberry fields are very popular in Germany. Being out, eating more than you can actually land in a basket, leaving on a sugar rush with red lips and in high spirits, and it's safe to say my crotch goblins enjoy it equally. If you would like to know more magical lore about the strawberry in particular, have a peek in my vlog from a few years ago. I'm linking it for you as well. But what else is on my summer solstice bucket list? Well, let me give you some ideas and example, and maybe you feel inspired to try them too and add some extra magic to your life. Making a big bonfire and do a releasing ritual. Taking part in a guided night hike and learn more about bats. Going out on St. John's Day to gather solar herbs for the magical apothecary. Hosting a Bridgerton tea in the garden. Do a spontaneous family picnic. Go swimming in the lake. Watch the Perseid showers and make a wish when we see a falling star. Go to a Renfair market in one of the many castles. Cook elderflower fritters for breakfast. Go and see an open-air theatre show, camp in the wild, gather a huge wildflower bouquet and making rose water for kitchen witchery. I would love to hear some of your treasured seasonal tradition, magical summer activities or items on the bucket list for the solstice. Please feel invited to leave them in the comments down below. Now let's end this magical summer's day with one of my favorite Litha drinks, a basil-infused strawberry limes. Very popular German summer drink with a witchy twist. It basically tastes like a fruit smoothie with a naughty secret. The secret ingredient being vodka. Which you can, of course, replace with a non-alcoholic substitute if you want this to be a mocktail instead. As the name suggests, you first need a couple leaves of fresh basil and strawberries. And here a pro tip. Pop the strawberries in freezer for a bit so that they are half frozen. That way you get a nice cold slushy-like consistency without having to water this fruity delight down with too many ice cubes. Next we add a bit of sweetness. Personally I went for brown sugar, but honey or maple syrup would work too as well. To infuse this drink with bright, cheery summer energy, we're gonna add just a little tiny spritz of lemon juice. This also helps out to balance the sweetness from the fruit, and lastly add in some shaved ice or ice cubes. You can take regular water there or infuse it beforehand with some basil leaves. If you don't want to water your strawberry limes down too much and are going for a non-alcoholic version, you can also freeze your vodka substitute. Let's quickly remember physics class, this won't work with actual vodka as the high alcohol content will prevent it from freezing like water. I made my strawberry limes with an intention for an abundance of summer joys. Strawberries are closely connected to love and childlike enjoyment, lemons to happiness and friendship, and basil brings in abundance. And to make this midsummer cocktail look extra fancy, I crushed up some basil leaves together with brown sugar to make a sweet herby decoration for the rim. To make it stick, I recommend using honey or lemon juice. You can also prepare this drink bottle to be enjoyed in a little liqueur glass at a summer barbecue or full moon gathering with friends. I wish you a most magical Litha, and I see you soon.